Social Justice Paladin, episode 11A, Musical Bridge. What's going on? Do you have the feeling that the world is going crazy? And I'm not even talking about all the weird weather slash climate change, solar eclipses, erupting volcanoes, looming economic collapse, tech advances happening at light speeds, the so-called Great Reset, etc., etc., etc. It's that people are changing. People used to be trustworthy, moral, patriotic, caring for children and caring for each other. 50 years ago, 90% of Americans identified as Christian. Now it's less than 60%. But they say that technology is improving and science is improving. Well, that's debatable. But it's obvious that people themselves are getting worse. Our cities are filled with violence. Child trafficking, although it's widely recognized, runs internationally and unchecked. And don't even get me started on the push for a one world government, erasing borders, subjugating national sovereignties, and enforcing laws around the globe that are ignorant at best and downright suicidal at worst. It seems that the whole world is going crazy. Well, believe it or not, there's a reason why. I came across this information from a pastor some 30 years ago. Herb Hodges was an evangelist and a serious Bible student. Yes, this was 30 some odd years ago, but even back then, some of the craziness had just started to become obvious. Pastor Hodges explained in a class, in the Greek, when you see the word bait, think bait like what you would put on the end of a fishing hook. Bait means to suspend. Pro means in front of. Some of you may be familiar with the term probate, which literally means to suspend in front of, as you would a judge. It's the act of presenting information to someone for judging it to be true or not. Now, if you suspend this truth literally in front of someone over and over and over, and that someone continues to reject the obvious truth that's right in front of their faces, the Bible eventually declares this person to be a reprobate or possessing a reprobate mind. Romans 1:28, King James Version. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. Romans 1:28, King James Version. And Herb Hodges. So because people refuse time and time again to listen to obvious truth and ignoring wisdom and common sense, at some point God, quote, gives them over to a reprobate mind. There is apparently a point where God literally gives up on them. In essence, because they continuously refuse to consider the truth as reality, then at some point these people develop a mind that is totally incapable of seeing reality. And we're seeing this more and more in our society. Sure, these types of people have been around since Paul's time, but these reprobate-minded people are becoming an increasingly greater percentage of people in our society. And what we're seeing as a result is that people are losing any sense of common decency or caring for others. Paul goes on to say in Romans chapter 1, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who, knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. Romans 1, verses 29 through 32, King James Version. So Paul gives us a long laundry list of characteristics of those people who develop reprobate minds. But people make up a society, and when enough people in a society are reprobate, then the society is reprobate. Can we see evidence of this in our society today? As more and more people reject the concept of objective truth and choose to follow their own subjective view of reality, more people are losing their ability to even know what truth or reality even is anymore. So, what's the solution? Frankly, I don't know. But we all need to get back to a kinder, gentler time. Unfortunately, if I'm understanding what the Bible says, things are going to get a lot worse before they get any better. But maybe, as individuals, we can choose to seek truth, even if it means we don't get what we want occasionally. Maybe choosing patience when it's harder, or kindness when you know the other person just needs a face punch. If enough people choose kindness, maybe, just maybe, we can turn the boat of this society around. We as a society need a return to common truth, and not one that we invent for ourselves. Ultimately, we need Jesus. Jesus is the truth.